Let me tell you a shocking secret that I received from my spirit guides today about manifestation and visualization. This is going to change the way you think about manifesting. Stay with me. Welcome back to Choosing Gratitude. I'm Karen from ChoosingGratitude.net, and on this channel, we talk about everything related to manifesting your dream life. If you're new here, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell. Let's start to manifest our dream lives by choosing gratitude. Have you tried visualization? Do you know that visualization is an essential part of the manifesting process? And if you have done it, I'm sure you've had some success, but some of you may have a little challenges because I often hear people telling me, Karen, I try to visualize, but I can't really see anything. Or Karen, I tried visualization, but it doesn't work for me. So today, I want to try to answer these questions and also show you a new way, a brand new way to visualize and to manifest. So make sure you watch till the end. You know, I've been in this law of attraction practice for over 20 years, and all these years I've been visualizing. So visualization does come to me pretty easily and naturally. However, lately I noticed that I am visualizing less and less frequently simply because, I really don't have many pressing desires to fulfill. I'm pretty happy with the way my life is, and I'm spending more time enjoying my life rather than imagining my dream life, because I feel like I'm already in my dream life. What more can I visualize, right? So I kind of stopped visualizing as much as 20 years ago. But this shocking secret message came from my spirit guide, really changed my whole perspective on visualization. It all kind of started with a little discussion I had with my son. I have a 10-year-old boy, and of course, he's into all kinds of fantasy stuff, and lately he's been really into Star Wars. So one day, he's telling me about some Star Wars planets, the currency they use, the language they have. And I learned from him that there's so much about the story of Star Wars than what I knew. I've watched all of the movies, but once I turn off the movie, I don't really remember much details. All I remember is the main storyline and the main characters, right? But what I didn't know is that there's a whole world in that storyline, and there's so many details associated with this world. When he was telling me about all of these things, I was saying, wow, George Lucas is really a genius. How can his imagination be so rich and so detailed? And then I just realized that imagination is just a form of visualization, right? Whether you visualize your own story or you visualize some kind of fiction story, you're visualizing. It's the exact same process. And at that moment, I heard my guide sending me this message, which is, well, how do you know the Star Wars world, the Star Wars galaxy is not real? And then I paused and I was asking my guides, you mean that galaxy really, really existed? And then the answer I received was this, anything you can ever imagine already exists. And then I heard this message very, very clearly. Your imagination or your visualization are not just some made-up stories. They are essentially a picture or an image of some parallel reality that is already in existence. And that parallel reality is not very different from yours. At that moment, I just felt this very, very deep connection with the universe. And I told this whole entire thing to my 10-year-old son. And then he said, Mommy, how do you know that we are not in somebody's imagination? Maybe we are a universe that is being written right now. And then my guides are telling me, yes, that is absolutely true. Everything we're living right now is not just randomly happening around us. Everything that is happening right now is being created by some much higher consciousness. And however, how you experience your reality is not entirely determined by that higher consciousness, the universe, or your higher self. It is kind of determined by a collaboration of your higher self and your lower self or ego. That's why you're not always feeling the joy. That's why you're not always feeling the gratitude. You are also feeling blocked. You're also feeling unhappy. You're also feeling stuck. So every time when you feel a sense of disconnection, that disconnection is telling you that you are writing your story from the perspective of your ego, your limited version of yourself. So what does this have to do with your visualization? Let me ask you this question. What if everything you're imagining in your visualization is real? You might think, well, it's not real. However, it is real. That is what I was told by my spirit guides, by the higher intelligence. They're literally telling me that your visualization world and your current world are not very different. They're both created by energy, vibration, and frequencies. And every moment we live, there are multiple millions and billions of realities coexisting. And it's just up to us to go there and pull that energy from there or jump into that reality. It's the same thing whether you get it from out there or you go there, because there is only one point right now. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. I know it sounds crazy, but over there and here, they're one. That reality and this reality are one. That's how, even though you talk about parallel realities, actually my guides are telling me that they're not parallel. They're really like a huge, gigantic net, and all these realities overlap with each other, and there are many, many portals where you can jump from one reality to another. And my guides are also telling me that those brilliant writers like George Lucas, who wrote the Star Wars story, they are not very different from us. It's not that they just made up that whole story. They are able to energetically go into that portal and see everything that is happening in a different universe, okay? Or a different timeline, a different reality. So in that sense, our entire life is magical, right? There's so much more freedom and so much more fun I want to show you about your life. If you're feeling less than joyful right now, I want you to just sit in stillness and in your mind's eye, start to see the vastness of the universe and the vastness of all the possible possibilities, and know that all of these possibilities are real. You can just go and grab anyone, okay? Even if you're not grabbing it right now because you have blocks created by your ego, that is okay. Know that it is possible for you to jump into any parallel reality of your dream life. So right now in front of you, imagine there are 10 different life paths right in front of you. One leads to darkness and one leads to joy. It's all about which one you choose. So that is the shocking secret I received from my guides. Your visualization is not fake. Your visualization is literally a picture of another parallel reality, which means you should take it more seriously, which means I started taking my visualizations more seriously. So when I close my eyes, I start not just visualizing fulfilling my desires, I'm also visualizing a better future for all of us. I'm also visualizing a better future for this entire universe, because I now know that I am writing the story of our universe, and you are also writing the same story. We're all in this together. We're all one. Once you truly understand this secret, my guides told me that there's next part, which means you need to practice to get to that level where you can freely rewrite the story of your life. And my guides are telling me that visualization does take practice, because your ego is literally a block of the visualization. So how clearly can you visualize is almost an indicator of how much joy you can let in, okay? And also how unclear clear of your visualization is an indicator of how much ego or how much block, how much negativity you are harboring at this moment, okay? So at any moment, the more joy you can let in, the more clearly you can visualize. That makes sense, right? So once you start letting in more joy, that's when you're starting to visualize with more and more clarity. That's when you start to visualize with more and more detail. That's when your visualization start feeling like real, and you're starting to really experience that it's not fake. It's real. It's really, really real. And you can live in your dream life just like how you can live in your visualization. But yeah, you need to practice. And how do you practice? My guides are telling me that you need to close your eyes and in your mind's eye, start seeing more detail, more color, and more emotions when your eyes are closed. And try not to perceive so much with your eyes and your ears all the time. So you want to go more within. So that's why you need to meditate. When you meditate, you are shutting down your senses so that you can go into that inner dimension, right? So when you practice, make sure that you start with something simple. Like you can, for example, pick up something in front of you like a pen and you look at it for 10 seconds and then you close your eyes and you try to visualize that pen, just that pen, and try to see the color, the detail, everything about that object. And then gradually you can expand to more things, and you can expand to things that you're not seeing right now. So that's how you gradually practice your visualization. But most importantly, you need to know that anything you can see with your mind's eye, you can experience in your physical reality if you become a master in visualization. And I know you can, it just takes a little practice. And if you're serious about mastering the skills of visualization and turning the amazing parallel reality of your dream life into this physical reality, I want to invite you to join my one-on-one visualization training. This is not like my other coaching programs. There will be no talking, only action-driven, serious training, step-by-step training. I will train you one-on-one to become a master of your life. I'll guide you through energy journeys to master the visualization techniques. I'll share with you my 6 powerful secret hacks, which I never shared before. I will also support you energetically with Reiki and other energy work. So simply go to choosinggratitude.net/new reality to learn more. Thank you so much for watching today. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video.